up and even Inspector Deck with his, you know, lost file or whatever. Pac came in there, man, if I die tonight, putting all them P's together like that, like, man, those are the two songs I think he was his most lyrical. But his impact as far as social consciousness, Brenda's Baby, Keep Your Head Up, Dear Mama, like that'll never be matched in hip hop. Never.
I don't think ever. And and rather anybody out there wants to admit it or not, in my personal opinion, as far as Tupac goes, So Many Tears is one of the deepest looks into a black man's mental health that you'll ever hear. Because you don't hear that often where someone digs that deep into what's mentally going on.
Tupac got multiple songs that will make grown men cry.
Like what?
I don't know. I'm just saying every grown man loves some Tupac song that they like. Damn, that one hit me. It's different for
How long will it mourn me?
Yeah, How Long Will It Mourn Me? Hell, they
see with the Tupac situation. Like I said, I'm 38, baby. I was 10, 11 by the time he got killed. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't too heavy, but but if you're talking lyrics, that's why there's two ways. Can his lyrics stand up in this day and age music? No, fuck no. He'd be garbage now. That's being. I these rappers couldn't be here without him. So that carries so much value that you can't say he's overrated ever.
I think K. Dot took on that Tupac persona as far as like social impact. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he would be garbage today, but I think
trash.
No, I think K. Dot
horrible.
No, I think
let me tell you why the standards on lyrics and shit are way higher than he was. Tupac was what they needed at the time. And that was their time, and it was perfect, and that was when lyrics is still elevating.
Well, he wasn't to
where lyrics are now. I'm just letting you know.
Lyrics now are trash.
I'm just saying.
Who's really rhyming right now?
A bunch of people.
Who?
Lil Baby's killing right now lyrically.
Kendrick.
Kendrick's killing right now lyrically. I can name a bunch of lyrically killing. Lil Baby's better lyrically than Tupac. I know it's hard to hear. Because it's two different genres, it's two different times, it's two different elevations. You know what I'm saying?
I really can't say that.
Tupac's lyrically is ABC. I'm just expressing on the podcast are not necessarily real stories and have real meanings.
Had these views been DJ KIMANI's, I would have told you.
Tupac's music popped because it had real meanings behind it, not necessarily because it was lyrically great.
I don't know
because it had real meanings behind the lyrics.
I don't know, man.
But not because it sounded good and it mixed up to the elevation of lyrics.
They played Hail Mary in the club the other night.
You can be an 8-year-old right now that will kill Tupac. That's just where we have music.
No, sir. I beg to differ.
I'm telling you, 8-year-old music it's just like getting better and better.
Hold on, sorry.
The music part for music is way higher than what Tupac was out. Way fucking higher. There's a million tight ass rappers. I'm just telling you, million tight ass Drake nigga level type rappers that'll never see the light of day. Million of them. Nigga, I'm talking about lyrical niggas, LL Cool J lyrical, like niggas high lyrical that never see the light of day.
Oh, Lord.
Because music is with this high. I've met an 8-year-old that spits harder than any nigga. Most niggas I know. I'm saying it's that easy. They're common.
So I'm sorry.
Little niggas that spit are common.
Hold on, Antonio's trying to respond to you. He said lyrically. Are you responding to the fact he just said that lyrically Tupac would not be comparable to the other artists today, basically, right?
I'm just saying
that is a complex answer, so I have to give you a soliloquy really to even answer that question. You know what I'm saying? Like it's deeper than that. Just gonna keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Like Pac, you have to look at the lineage of people. Like I don't know, I have a different belief. Every single one of y'all that sits in that room, you have an ancestor that's either a generation or 2 generations or 4 or 5 generations back that you either resemble them in energy or the way you look, right? Because because our ancestors wrote calendars and circles, and we believe that our tribal people believe things like that. Tupac is like a warrior energy. You know what I mean? It doesn't even matter what happened to him, whether he lived or died or not, because he completed the cycle of the imagery. He self-prophesied it, and then he literally died for it. You know what I'm saying? That energy is powerful in the ethers, in the levels of different dimensions, so to speak. When someone dies for something, that's why, Malcolm X said that the key to freedom, or the only way to freedom, is death, right? Because it's powerful. Death is a powerful thing. So Pac also comes from a lineage that you can't fake. Like Kanye rapped when he first came out, my mom was sitting in at the lunchtime, or whatever the line is in College Dropout. But Pac's mom was in prison, a Black Panther. His auntie wanted by the American government. His whole family followed by the feds. You know what I mean? That's not something you can make up. That's real. You know what I mean? Whether they killed or whatever the role is doesn't matter, because Pac is basically one of the last lines of that black anti-establishment line that they suppressed through the civil rights movement in the 70s and everything. That's why he's so powerful, because of who he is personally.
To my point,
but that
it's
just
his
that,
story, not
yeah,
his lyrics.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Thank
Basically,
you.
just back up what he said. A friend of mine, who actually is he's the same age as me, so he's 41, and so he said that he believes that in today's age, because he and I are both fans of J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Jordan Lucas. Right, and like Jordan Lucas, that's my top. That's my three up top right now. But in comparison to them versus Pac, no, their lyrics are extremely different.
That's what I'm saying. It's more scientific. Wordplay has grown so much.
Those are skills. But listen, let me just finish real quick, and I'm done. And
That's human nature. That's supposed to happen.
He's Shakespeare. Jay-Z is also, like, these guys have different styles, different eras, but Pac will be remembered as a figure, as a signal for anti-establishment. You could take his picture to anywhere in the world, people would know who it is. They know the lyrics, because people in these war-torn countries feel the lyrics of the anti-establishment he was unlocking. If you look at everything he said, he pretty much was on point. He told us about the Jimmy Lynchman. He told us that Pac and Jay-Z and Nas and all these guys wanted to run the game, and they do now. You know what I'm saying? Puffy and all these guys do. And they couldn't let that continue to happen. That's why Kendrick's lyrics are so coded. Because Kendrick knows they will pop his ass. They will be like, what? What's that? Hold up. So he codes it beautifully. That's why Kendrick's the dopest. Because he's still telling us the truth. He just coded it. You know what I'm saying?
Notice
so it's beautiful art.
Lyrics.
What do you think, Kimani, about whether or not Tupac is overrated, as far as, like I said, with the points that have come up with him versus his music and where it weighs against the stuff that's out today?
I would be an idiot to respond, because that man wasn't allowed to, like other artists got to evolve.
Facts.
His catalog is only
That's real shit.
so long.
Okay.
When you got people like Nas and Jay-Z that are 10 and 15 albums deep, they got to mature. Now you notice that Nas and Jay-Z is grown man rap now. They not talking about being in the street like that no more. So I would be an idiot to try to respond to that.
I'm glad he said that, because people want to live in a world where Pac got a chance to mature. He didn't get a chance to drop.
He didn't, and a lot of people.
25.
And I
was an idiot when I was 25.
And it's not to cut nobody
I will
off.
say this. Can I say this?
Go ahead, Kimani. Say that.
Tupac died over two things: a sucker punch and a chain that wasn't his. And that's what 25-year-olds do. You do stupid shit. So he wasn't able to mature. And I mean, especially banging for a gang that he wasn't even affiliated with. Mm-hmm. So you got to take that into consideration too. Yeah. His brain wasn't fully developed. But what he put out prior to that, remarkable.
Right. Be unmatched.
And not to cut nobody off, but a lot of people he didn't even want to be rapping by the time he was 30. I know all rappers say I'm gonna retire by this, but he didn't even want to be rapping by the time he was 35. He wanted to be in politics. So
it would have been a vehicle like Will Smith, so to speak.
It's a way that we think of all these things that could have happened had he, and like you said, Kimani, he sucker punched someone and over a chain that wouldn't belong to him, right. And he didn't realize you punched someone that's like, I don't give a shit who you are, I gotta kill you now. Right. I'm a gang member and this is what happens in my world. You have done some shit you shouldn't have done. Now I have to find this man. They were going to go shoot up 6'6" Deuce. They just happened to see them in traffic and was like, never mind, we got him right here. Right. So,
but here's the hardest thing about number one about Pac is that number one, he already did have aunties and sisters in hiding in Cuba and other places. I'm not saying it's true. All I'm saying is I'm putting these things out there.
Are you one of them Tupac still alive people?
He is one of them Tupac still
alive. No, I'm not. But I look at everything in the world as possibilities. Is it in the realm of possibility? Like maybe even 5 or 2%? Yeah. Oh. Is it likely? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at the footprint of what's online, that's what creates problems because you have literal people that are like, I seen them sneak him out, and you have people like Akil the MC, they're saying I am Tupac, and you know what I'm saying? So that the convolution of that makes it. But again, I'll go back to what I said at the beginning. It doesn't matter what actually happened to him because the imagery and the impact already happened. It's there, and it can never be erased from the ether. And that part is what reverberates. You know what I'm saying? And the lyrics. Right. The lyrics I almost feel are like secondary. You know what I'm saying? But I do agree that now people have advanced styles. And people have to evolve.
What I'm saying with the lyrics is if somebody came out today and he not even sound like had the same style as Tupac, nobody's gonna fuck with him because they're gonna look at it like that's where we started in rap.
But that's because they've already been exposed to Tupac.
You can't come with the beginning shit now. You know what I'm saying? So you can't compare Lil Wayne to Tupac. It's uncomparable because Tupac. There's no Lil Wayne without Tupac. You know what I'm saying?
So that's why what I would say is that Tupac, like any of the other black creators, it was a creator. So if he came out with a song today, it would be creative of today's standards because he was creating at his time. You know what I'm saying? And this is what people was on.
They still take his lyrics of 1,000 records that are already out there and just stick them into today's songs anyways. I mean, he's always going to be able to be fused into today's music because they just stick his lyrics.
I feel like Pac is felt
for that reason
more than the words necessarily mean. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't necessarily hear what you don't hear Pac, you feel it. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
Okay, we're almost coming up on time. Thank y'all for discussing that. I mean, that's something we could talk about for a long time. That's one that'll be deeper than the devil himself. Exactly. Just for the sake of respecting the time limit on the show. All right. There's another highly debated one that y'all probably know the best about music. We're gonna go Kimani first, and then Antonio, and then Tenor. Best movie soundtrack.
Oh shit! Do I get an honorable mention?
We'll give you 3. Top 3.
Okay. Above the rim all time. Just song for song, track for track. Best movie soundtrack ever. Mo Money soundtrack.
Damn, that's a good one.
I forgot about that one.
Mo Money soundtrack was the shit. And then I would go with Juice. Juice soundtrack.
Not bad.
Okay. All right.
New Jack City. No.
It's a New Jack City. Okay, Antonio, yours. I guess you got top 3 movie soundtracks.
I don't know, man. Cause it's like I don't really like have favorite movie soundtracks. I remember soundtracks that I bought that impacted me, or that I like remember songs from. Mm-hmm. But like soundtracks are always like hit and miss things for me. Like there'll be like 3 songs you like, and then like the rest is some pop shit or some weird shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like so. I mean, I remember Dangerous Ground Remember stealing that from Twist and Shout at the Tivoli? I don't remember what song I really loved on there. Maybe The World Is Mine, Mr. Shit Talker, Mystical, with, Mystical and some shit. But, there was a song called Ghetto Smile with Beat It Jit on there. Spice One had a joint on there. Yeah. So Dangerous Minds, that was a good one. I remember I'm About It, Master P soundtrack. That shit was good and hard as fuck, and I had some 15s in a Chevy Nova, so I used to dump that one. I'm trying to remember. Gridlocked was a dope ass soundtrack.
Gridlocked. Oh, okay. The pop.
Yeah, Gridlocked with Tupac. I think it had a
what else
had a song on there. Daz had a song called Don't Try to Play Me.
As soon as he said Gridlock, that Murder Was the Case fucking soundtrack.
Oh my God.
So you have named like 6 different soundtracks. Hold on, Antonio.
Yeah, I'm talking about he and I.
Right, like I like a little bit of everything from different ones. Like you cheating. You named like 6 of them. Hold on.
Death Row was.
Hold on, real fast. Let me get.
Nate Dogg's a hard ass song on that one too. So I would say Gridlocked, Dangerous Minds, and I'm About It, Recipe.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna give mine after y'all finish with your. What's yours?
Go Above the Rim. Of course, that was a classic soundtrack. New Jack City.
Okay.
Just good. Living up in the city.
Okay.
And the last one, I'm not a big movie soundtrack dude, so I'm just give this one. I'm only 1 to 2 songs really in soundtracks, but the Fast and Furious. One with Wiz soundtrack, what I think it was 6, Fast and Furious 6 soundtrack.
Oh, Homeboy Pass?
Yeah, you already know.
Yeah, that song was crazy.
Huge song.
Okay.
Almost one of the biggest soundtrack song ever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, I think.
Honorable mention to Space Jam, just because kids request the Space Jam original soundtrack.
Space Jam has to be on there. I can believe I can fly. You're crazy.
I think as far as for mine, my top 3 soundtracks would be it's gonna be Thicker Than Water.
Ooh.
Soundtrack. It's gonna be Dead Presidents. And and Waiting to Exhale.
Oh wow!
Yeah. I'm feeling like
That's what related to official.
Yeah. That's those is mine. Unless someone like Dirty Dancing has the best soundtrack.
Bodyguard.
That was annoying. Bodyguard. Actually, Queen on the Night. Turn that shit off. All right,
I got it.
So where you at?
I'm gonna definitely go with Above the Rim.
Okay.
Murder Was the Case. Purple Rain. Honorable mentions. Trouble Man.
Yes, sir.
That's Trouble Man.
That's Marvin Gaye.
It's a Marvin Gaye album. Too.
Yeah.
You got me there too.
Come apart, babe.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a soundtrack.
I'm all across the board on that one. Hell, even Prince's Under the Cherry Moon album was unbelievable.
Yes, sir.
The movie was ass, but the soundtrack, you're like, damn, Prince can do no wrong.
Speaking of Prince, since we have y'all on the phone and in present, I'm gonna put y'all under the hot seat real quick. Purple Rain or Graffiti Bridge? I'm saying, somebody said Graffiti Bridge. I saw a thing where they said Graffiti Bridge's music was better than Purple Rain. Like the story, they said the soundtrack. They said the story was better on Purple Rain, but the music was better on Graffiti Bridge.
White people or black people or brown people?
It's a mixture of people.
Because a lot of that stuff on Graffiti Bridge's soundtrack is just updated versions of songs he had recorded between like the 1999 album and all those different albums.
The Batman soundtrack was better than all that shit.
Ooh, yeah. That shit was a monster.
What did he say?
He said the Batman soundtrack was better than all of that.
Batman.
Are you serious? You ain't never heard Lemon Crush?
Stop
Are you serious?
Kimani
You know her Scandalous? You know her Scandalous?
Party Man.
Put me
man.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, I gotta give Kimani that Batman
The
was
last
solid one.
for controversy's sake, I'm gonna just I'm gonna just name a question. I'm gonna name a question. I'm gonna just pick one of y'all at random to answer the question. All right. So, Mary J. Blige or Beyonce? Antonio.
Oh, damn you. Damn. Can I do like dream champs and take a shot and pick both?
Nope. Nah, you gotta pick one.
That's difficult. Oh man, that's tough. I can't choose. It's too tough. I want to say Beyonce, but then my soul goes, but what about this Mary you can never have again? No, I can't choose.
He can't choose. He takes no. All
I
right.
want both. Like, they gotta take both. I gotta take them both.
All right.
I'm gonna go Antonio's route strictly based on Mary J. Blige is all that I can say, because I feel like that song can do no wrong ever in the world. So if I gotta get rid of all of Beyonce slaps just to keep all that I can say, then Beyonce gotta go.
Taking Mary.
So you're picking Mary then. So
Yeah.
I heard a decision.
All right. Okay. Chris Brown or Usher? Tenor.
Usher, hands down.
Usher, hands down.
He didn't even bat an eye.
He didn't. He said Usher, hands down. Like no things. All right. I'm gonna give this one to you just because I think this is cool. Prince or Michael Jackson? Kimani.
Oh shit. Oh man.
Man,
That shit ain't fair.
that's not right. I have to take both, but I will say this. I'm more leaning toward Mike because he was a better performer to me. But I also lean to Prince because he wrote, produced, composed everything he did. He didn't have no cover songs that he ever did. Everything was original. Mike sung other people's shit.
Okay.
But Mike also was a child star too.
Right.
So Mike was a better performer. Prince was a better musician.
There you
Okay.
go. That hits it on the head
There
perfectly.
it is. Okay, Drake or Lil Wayne? Antonio.
Weezy, yes. Please say the baby.
What'd he say?
He said Weezy.
Yo, I got it.
All right, we go wrap it up. You agree? You disagree, or do you agree?
Well, Weezy.
Weezy over Drake.
Oh, see that one's a. I'm not gonna say nothing on that crossover. Okay.
Yeah, that's a loaded question, man.
I just want to throw those out there, guys. I believe we have reached our time. I want to thank our guests for coming in, just talking a little bit about music with us and some of the DJ party fouls and whatnot. Thank you, DJ Kimani.
No doubt.
Thank you, Mr. After Hours.
Hey, don't talk to me while I'm DJing.
That part. And thank you, Antonio. And if we didn't learn anything else tonight, we learned that you need to tip these men when they're out there. Men, women, DJs, the people that are providing the sounds and whatnot, soundtrack to your lives and to your parties. Y'all need to give them a little something before you chime in on whatnot. And basically like McDonald's and shit, you can't tell them to shake your fries a little bit longer than shit. Don't be telling people how to do their jobs either when they behind the booth. I'm just saying. So there's that. And there was one more thing that I need to touch on before we leave. Because a friend of mine asked me to touch on it for her. At the beginning of the show, we did shout out our homeboy who was unable to make it in tonight for personal reasons. Y'all, social media is an ugly place. And it's a lot of places you're not really meant to find out things the way that you find them out. So there's a lot of people who found out over the weekend about illnesses and deaths and things like that for their loved ones and from their friends before they got a chance to really hear it from their loved ones and from their friends. They heard it from people who's a friend of a friend of a friend. So I'm going to say this and leave it at that. If you have to call around to get information about the person that you're checking on, you're probably not the person who needs to be passing on any information about that person.
Amen.
So we're gonna leave it at that.
That is a word.
So just take that and do whatever you will and run with it, y'all. But just saying, I said I was gonna address it, so I'm gonna address that. So those who need to know already know, and if you had to call to find out, you're not the one that needs to be spreading anything. So there's that. Well, thank y'all very much for tuning in to the What Do I Know podcast. Hey, Mr. DJ edition. We will be back next week with parents versus educators. Who knows our children better? So, Yay. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you follow me at RUKUS303 on Facebook and Instagram.
Don Trey Smith on Facebook, Trey the Artist on Facebook, Womack was here 83 on Instagram.
That's what's up. And make sure you follow these men and help them with their events and whatnot. Mr. After Hours, he runs all sorts of things. So I can't even start with his list. He's always got something going.
After Hours this weekend.
There you go. Kimani, you got anything you want to plug real quick before we get out of here?
Hey, man, just doing spot dates whenever it's on my social media. Stop through, come see me, and bring your wallet.
Bring your wallet because he's got a square card for your requests. And Antonio, anything you want to tell the people before we get out of here?
Yeah, follow me on IG and Twitter, SW Alliance Music, SWAlliancemusic.com. I'll be at number 38, 5 Points, October 8th. That's next Saturday night. You can come down, check it out. It's an outdoor venue down there. You know what I mean? SW Alliance Music on everything.
Okay. Just to let the people know what exactly is the SW Alliance, because there are some folks that are under a rock and have no idea. You know.
For sure. So the SW Southwest Alliance is basically anybody who works in the industry in the Southwest region. We basically created it for two reasons. Number one, the radio stations were only sending out music, and the labels were only sending music to the radio stations, the few BDS stations and stuff like that. And there was a couple DJs that were talking to labels, but they wasn't sharing no information with nobody. They wasn't telling them about no Denver artists or nothing like that. So we was like, look, we want the labels to know direct relationship with the DJs. And we also want to be able to tell these people in other places that are influential about the artists we have.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So we meet every Tuesday. Every Tuesday at 6 p.m. You can just search on YouTube Southwest Alliance. You'll see some footage. You know what I mean?
Where's y'all's band?
Thank you very much for that. All right, y'all. Well, thank you very much again for tuning in to the What Do I Know podcast. We'll see y'all next Wednesday. Next Wednesday.
Oh, man.
Peace out.
Bye.